Hi, I'm Kerry with Best of Us Investors. I'm a long-term investor and I basically invest built around events, things that happened. And I think the most important event that happened in my lifetime of 76 years was the coronavirus. And I think it's going to change our healthcare system. I've talked a lot about it, about genome sequencing and genome editing and artificial intelligence finding the right pharmaceuticals and in record time, much as evidenced by the finding of the vaccines for the coronavirus and now the Delta variant. So our healthcare system is changing. The piece that has been missing, though, is who's going to deliver this. I have talked in length about the smart toilet, that you're going to poop in the toilet and a 5G probe will probe your poop and your pee, and the analysis will be sent into the cloud, and the cloud will notify you that you have a virus or you have an illness or you have cancer, you have a disease, whatever. But who's going to deliver that message? That's the question, and that's what I've been searching for. And I've been talking about it with my tribe and some specific members on the investment committee, and they brought up the name of Teladoc. And I had been invested in Live and Go, which was bought by Teladoc back last year. I bought in Live and Go in June and July and made some money on it. But then what didn't have a real good understanding when they were bought out by Teladoc, so I sold it and took my profits and really haven't visited it since. I have noticed that it is a major holding of Kathy's in ARC, and so my tribe has brought it back to my attention and said, this might be something we should look at. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do a video on my now interpretation and understanding of Teladoc, and I'm going to release it to my tribe about 48 hours before I release it to you, the general public. And then I'm going to ask my investment committee to dive deep into the numbers. I don't do much numbers. I base my investment decisions on, are they going to change my life? And I'm going to go at it that way. But I've decided that let's put the investment committee, and so I'll put this video out at 7 a.m. on Thursday morning, and then the investment committee will follow up with a video at 1 p.m. the same day. So I want you to be aware of both of us are going to be talking about Teladoc, and I want you to know that we released it to our tribe members. Those are the people who meet at bestofusinvestors.com. That's where you get a link to our Discord, and we discuss these things. So what I'm telling you, what you're about to see is a product of the tribe. That's the book I wrote about the power of the tribe. So let me share with you that I'm not your financial advisor. I'm just here for education and entertainment. And then we'll dig into where does Teladoc fit into the healthcare revolution that I see right in front of us.
Best of Us Investors presents Kerry Griegmeyer.
Okay, I really didn't have a good handle on what Teladoc is and how it was going to fit into my life. So I've done some research and I want to share it with you. The first thing I want to do is give you the view of what the people who have created Teladoc think Teladoc is, and then I'll share with you where I think it's going to fit into my investment future. I want you to listen to what Jason Garvenik, the CEO, has to say about Teladoc.
It was always my vision that we could deliver virtual care for everything. I couldn't really tell people about that vision too broadly. They thought we were completely crazy.
To build this experience that doesn't exist today, it really has caused us to become a company that doesn't exist today.
The Teladoc Health vision is to be the first stop.
That emotional connection to the healthcare ecosystem around you That's the future. That's the next normal in healthcare.
Okay, the words that I liked in all of that is the first stop. Here's where I see this going. As I said, you poop in your toilet, that data is pushed into the cloud, that data is analyzed. Well, who's going to analyze it? Teladoc or possibly American Well. They're also into this. And Amazon is making a step into it through they're calling Amazon Wellness. But I think Teladoc is way ahead of everybody else. So what I see happening is I do my poop in the in analysis. I stand in front of my mirror analysis. I have some devices. If I'm diabetic, I have something that pricks my finger and measures my blood. And this is all sent out into the cloud and analyzed. It's analyzed through artificial intelligence. It's part of a database. And then machine learning compares my poop, my body scan, my blood to yours and everybody else's. And then it basically says you've got an issue. So it then also gives me some choices possibly as to how I could pursue that. And that's where I think Teladoc comes in. As I understand how Teladoc works, is they're really not after me through just me. They want to work with my healthcare provider, which is my primary healthcare provider, is Blue Cross, but Blue Cross is delivering me my Medicare. So they want to work with them, and they want to basically say that Kerry has subscribed to this element of his service, in my case through Medicare, and rather than for any ailment or concern, maybe I feel I have a urinary tract infection, and it's actually determined by the analysis of my urine from the thing in my smart toilet, and I get on a video call with a Teladoc doctor, and I explain my situation. He looks at the analysis that came from my toilet, and he makes a prescription. And he phones that prescription to my pharmacy, and I go and pick it up, and we take care of it. What's happened there is I didn't have to take a day off work, or I didn't have to find care for my children, and it was all taken care of as a result of my smart toilet, the analysis, and a conversation I had on my computer. This becomes real important if, in fact, I live out in the boonies and I got to drive in to Birmingham to meet with a doctor and sit in a waiting room and get the same thing done that I can do over the internet through Teladoc. Does that appeal to me? Yes, it does. Nita and I just this week went and had our blood done. Every year we do that. Last year, our doctor held a conference, a video conference. I do not believe it was through Teladoc, but I don't really know. But I wondered why would Stuart, my doctor, want to do that? Well, because because Stuart's with UAB, but I also go to Callahan, which is my eye doctor, and maybe I have a visit at St. Vincent's for something else, and their data doesn't come together. But what if Teladoc, through my Medicare, brought everything together? So now the combination of my data gives me better service. I'm all for that. And I think that's where Teladoc fits into this. They're going to be the deliverer. Now, there's been some hurdles. Many insurance companies, and in fact, all the insurance companies other than in 10 states, have basically said, we'll only pay the doctor 1/3 of a televisit of what we would pay for a personal visit. That's a hurdle. But just on March 20th of 2020, Trump announced that, in fact, for Medicare, they will pay the same as a in-office visit for a Teladoc visit. And I know that 80% of all medical care is delivered to senior citizens as opposed to younger people. So this is going to be a huge bonus for Teladoc. So that makes me like it. I listened to their quarterly call. Visits were up 28%. That's pretty good because, for the most part, we basically believed that the coronavirus was kind of not, it was over and done with. We've since learned about the Delta variant. So nonetheless, they had a 20%, 28% increase in televisits over the prior quarter, the 2020 quarter. Their revenue growth was up 109%. So I'm seeing growth. And as I dig into it, where they're going to grow is not getting me to sign up, but to get my healthcare system, that would be UAB. I'm already available to it through my Medicare, but also employers. And if you'll look, you'll see they have signed up some very large employers. In fact, they brag that they have 40% of all the S&P companies signed up for their program. So what I'm seeing here is a stock that is going to take everything else I've been talking about, and that is genome editing, genome sequencing, protein sequencing, the work that's being done by companies who are using artificial intelligence to help pharmaceutical companies deliver better drugs faster. The element that was missing, that I just didn't have a handle on, was who was going to deliver all this. Who was I going to be able to go and say, I'm concerned about cancer in my family. I want a genome sequencing. And they would say, okay, we'll order that for you. We'll set up your appointment. You go to it. We'll then deliver the information that we acquire to your primary care doctor, and he will analyze it, and we will analyze it because, again, they've got the database. We'll compare it to all the other genome sequences we've had. And if, in fact, we find that there is a cancer in your body or a propensity for cancer, we'll then, through Teladoc or Amazon or American Well, we will prescribe the appropriate therapy that is using CRISPR to cure your cancer. Okay? That's where I see this going. And I like the statement of Teladoc is the first step, but more than that, I like the idea that monitoring my body for healthcare is not a once-a-year event. It is something that takes place every day. It takes place through my watch. It takes place through my smart toilet. It takes place through my smart mirror. It takes place through my smart scale. And I believe Teladoc is who's going to deliver this. Now, I recognize that I have limited knowledge. I did not spend my career in the medical field. I learned about it from reading, from searching the internet, from going to websites, from watching videos with the CEOs of companies. So I'm asking you for help. And that is, I'm asking you to come to bestofusinvestors.com. Come and join our tribe and share your knowledge. And if you put your head with my head and 5,000 other heads, we'll figure this out. And if we figure it out as a tribe, we'll make a better investment decision. And we'll learn how to profit off of this massive change that is happening in our medical system, in our healthcare system, and we'll profit from it. We will literally take ownership of the companies that are leading the change in our world, and we'll profit from it. Now, that's a true American experience. I have the privilege of buying shares, and you need to know that Teladoc hit an all-time high back at the height of the pandemic and now is selling at 50% of what the world thought it was worth about 6 months ago. So again, if you want to know the nuts and bolts, the numbers, later this afternoon at 1 o'clock, we will do another video by our investment committee, which is made up of Drew, Tiago, Noodle, and Mark. And all or part of them will give you the dollars and cents of Teladoc. That's what this channel is going to be all about. A community effort to help us make good investment decisions. Come ride this train with us. It's going to be fun.